What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're here for NXT review for Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. NXT starting off the next journey to the next TakeOver, which will be in San Jose in June. And of the three shows this week that had the resets, as SmackDown and Raw had the Superstar Shake-Up this week, of course, NXT knocked it out of the park. We had the Velveteen Dream versus Buddy Murphy. Kairi Sane in her final match on NXT TV against Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. If Kairi Sane was to lose in any way, she would never get another NXT Women's Championship opportunity. But she kind of got spoiled anyway because she was on SmackDown Live last night, which is a bummer that you had to, the match was good, the match was great, because Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler put on great performances every time, but we already knew what was going to happen beforehand. This was a fun episode of NXT. This was the way to get yourself hyped for what's going to be happening on the road to NXT TakeOver. I believe San Jose. That's just the running title. I think it's in San Jose. Also, we have matches for next week. Roderick Strong versus Johnny Gargano will be happening next week. Plus, the War Raiders, who were on this show for a second, are going to be facing off against the Street Profits next week. Now, you could tell from that scene tonight that happened that the War Raiders coming up as the Viking Experience, because that's a fun fucking name. That was stupid. They were obviously not something that coming out of WrestleMania, but when Triple H went down after WrestleMania, the week after WrestleMania, and did tapings for NXT, the War Raiders were not in the plans to come up in the Superstar Shake-Up. Just from the fact that the War Raiders show up and they have new T-shirts that say War Raiders in a Viking type setting. So you could tell that the War Raiders were not somebody who was supposed to come up until Vince McMahon was like, we're going to bring him up just so I can screw over Vince McMahon. Screw over Triple H, because I'm Vince McMahon. I run this company. You have to do things at a drop of a dime. Until Triple H grows some balls and tells Vince that, no, you're not fucking doing this because we have plans for these guys and you already have enough of my goddamn talent. You brought up Heavy Machinery, haven't done shit with them. You brought up EC3, you fucking murdered him on Monday Night Raw. Lars Sullivan looks directionless right now. Lacey Evans is the only one who seems to be getting a push out of everybody. Nikki Cross is nowhere to be seen for like weeks. Let's see. Ricochet and Aleister Black were on Monday Night Raw. If Vince would have had it his way, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa probably would have not happened the way it was, and Johnny Gargano probably would have lost the NXT Championship anyway, because all four members of that call-up was supposed to stay on the main roster. So until Triple H gets some balls, gets his balls back from Vince McMahon and tells him no, which nobody in that fucking company tells Vince McMahon no, which needs to stop. Tell Vince McMahon no. You have plans for these guys down in NXT. You don't need my tag team champions. You don't need my North American champion at the time or my NXT champion at the time. Black and Ricochet, I figured, were coming up anyway, but no reason to have Tommaso Ciampa or Johnny Gargano come up when they did, or for the War Raiders coming up when they have. And I forgot to mention this on Tuesday, but you have the War Raiders get their name changed for people assuming the fact that the name War's in there, and the fans chant war, 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 war to their theme. Yet, you go to Tuesday night and Ember Moon's called the War Goddess. Kind of hypocritical, don't you think, WWE? Kind of hypocritical. We'll talk about that more on Saturday, but tonight, we had Velveteen Dream versus Buddy Murphy in a North American Championship match. Everybody probably wondering, how did this match come to be? Well, Velveteen Dream was doing a Skype call or whatever it was, or some kind of he was doing some kind of blog where he was standing about where the wrestlers come back from Gorilla, because when you watch these 24 specials for WWE's WrestleMania, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34 that they've shown so far, usually you see that big, huge, long path that they have to walk to get to the stage. Well, he was standing in that spot, and he points at, this is Buddy Murphy, because Buddy Murphy was walking by, the former Cruiserweight champion, because he couldn't hold his own, or he was insulting Buddy Murphy And that's pretty much where this led to, is the fact that Buddy Murphy was like, well, you still have a championship, and I'm going to come get it at NXT. And so we got that match tonight. This was a damn good match, and just shows you that anybody who doesn't know Buddy Murphy yet, Buddy Murphy will be on SmackDown Live, hopefully starting next week. I mean, last year we had Andrade Cien almost get called up to SmackDown Live, and he didn't show up for weeks, it felt like. He kept getting promos. So it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see Buddy Murphy on SmackDown for a good while, and they're just going to do promos for him. Let's hope not. These guys put on a hell of a match, and I'm glad that Velveteen Dream was not a victim of the Superstar shakeup. I'm glad to see Buddy Murphy go to SmackDown Live, but this one was great. They start a feeling out process of the two lock up and go to the corner. Dream with a shove. Murphy goes right into the side headlock, taking him down in the middle of the ring. Dream counters with a side headlock of his own. Multiple counters leading into a kip up, stalemate, more shoving. More counters, Murphy with a Hurricane Rana that sends Dream to the floor. Murphy looks to fly, and this was fucking great. Murphy looks to go like he's going to do a tope con hilo. Dream, hurry up, and slides back into the ring and says, he's on his knees, and he's like, no, waving his arms, no, and then does his pose, his Velveteen Dream pose on his knees. So Buddy Murphy's like, okay, grabs his arms and hits him with a nice stiff V-trigger knee strike, which, by the way, Buddy Murphy has... I think next to Kenny Omega, Buddy Murphy has the stiffest knee strikes I think I've seen in all of professional wrestling, not just WWE. Dream gets sent to the floor again, and Murphy this time with the tope con hilo to the outside, clears that Dream. He sends Dream back into the ring, and a meteor off the top rope, pin 2 count, crowd is about 75-25 in favor of Dream. Buddy Murphy does win the fans over a lot more as this match goes on. He looks for another. Dream lands a big kick to the Dream's back. He looks for another one. Dream avoids it and lands one of his own. Murphy locks in a sleeper hold. Dream recovers, hits a super kick. Back and forth strikes. And by the way, I love this about NXT though. Is like when you see somebody put a sleeper hold like Buddy Murphy did in this match, where he takes him to the ground. It's not a rest hold that you see on Monday Night Raw where they put him in that hold, and they're just there for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and it's like you're dragging out a match that should be, and a match that should only be like 5 minutes is now going to be 10, 15 minutes because of this goddamn headlock rest hold that you continue to have. This builds tension into the match, and this is how you should do this shit. I get so sick and tired of seeing sleeper holds like this done on the main roster because they just are there for rest holds because you got to draw this match out, or if you don't. Because if you didn't do these rest holds on the main roster, the shows, they would have to find a lot more filler for those shows. Back and forth strikes, Dream with a drop kick, back elbow, and clotheslines Murphy out to the floor. Dream with a double axe handle to the floor. Back to the ring, Dream heads to the top rope. Leaps, lands on his feet, hits a code breaker, a one-legged code breaker, like I believe Ricochet hit on Chad Gable last week. It's kicked in... Throwback cover for a 2 count. Goes for the Dream Valley driver, but Murphy gets out of that and he gets kicked and kicks Velveteen Dream in the face. Murphy with a tornado DDT over the top rope. Climbs to the top rope but gets slapped in the face. Dream heads up. Both start swinging away. Looks like something. I don't know what the hell they're going for, but they fight until both of them crash to the floor. Referee starts up to 10 count, but both make it up at 9. Dream with multiple punches. Murphy hits a DDT, cover for a 2 count. Dream Valley driver hits 1-2. Dream heads up to the turnbuckle. Murphy follows, tucks the head, super kick, sit out powerbomb, cover for a 2. Both end up on the apron again. Murphy with a big leaping knee strike to Dream's face. Dream looks like he is dead to the world. He looked like he was just like a sack of potatoes or something, a heavy sack of potatoes, because Murphy tries to get Dream back into the ring. The ref is counting to 9. Murphy's trying it just so hard to get Dream back into the ring. Ref gets to 9. He drops Dream, gets back in the ring, gets back out to break the count. So this match could have ended in a double count out, but it does not. Dream does get back. Murphy does dump Dream back into the ring eventually, but in his he didn't have the haste to get back into the ring to try and do anything. He took his time for whatever reason. Dream hits a draping Famouser off of the middle rope. Dream Valley Driver into the Purple Rainmaker for the 1, 2, 3. Your winner and still North American Champion, the Velveteen Dream. What a match. Good match for the start off the show, and a great way to start off NXT TV this week. Honestly, the 2 title matches we had could have been the main event of this show if you wanted to. Because they do take this stuff as it's spread out. They could have had the Velveteen Dream and Buddy Murphy match be a main event of one of the other shows and just had the NXT Championship match be the main event of this show, but that is not what we got. Street Profits on the Street Talk little thing they want to do. Head over to the GM William Regal's office to ask for an opportunity. Ford knocks on the door, and the NXT Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders, walk out and say they have heard what they said. They already did it for you because we came to Regal's office and says we will see you next week. Be careful what you wish for. Profits seem happy and delighted as can be. I'm pretty sure the War Raiders are still going to be the NXT Tag Team Champions till the next set of tapings. If the tag team titles would have switched hands in this title, as again, we would have seen that all over Twitter last week, that the War Raiders are no longer tag team champions. What's going on here? Blah, blah, blah. But that didn't happen. So it still stinks to me that the fact that I think I'm pretty confident to say that the War Raiders coming up to be the Viking Experience, or we'll talk about what they could have been called, was not in the plans until the very last minute. Out comes Johnny Gargano, Johnny Champion. I thought we were going to have the 2 title matches and then Gargano to send this show home happy, because obviously Kairi Sane was not winning the NXT Women's Championship, especially seeing on SmackDown Live just last night with Asuka, and I don't know what they're going to call themselves. Maybe the Pirate Princesses? I don't know. There's a lot of Johnny Champion signs in the crowd. Gargano said they've been waiting a very long time for this moment. Most of the crowd says you deserve it, but there are a bunch of chants of no, you don't. So the crowd was 20, I'd say 70-30 or 60-40, you deserve it, and 30-40, no, you don't. In response, Gargano talks about becoming NXT champion at NXT TakeOVer, and talked about how he said last week he was told no at his NXT tryout. Or 2 weeks ago, he talked about being told no at his tryout in 2015. It's been a long time coming. 5 years later, I am NXT champion. He does get interrupted by the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole said he's not going to listen to another love fest with Gargano in the NXT universe. Cole says he beat Gargano. If it was any other match, he would have won. The crowd with the "you tapped out" chants, which you did lose 2 straight to Johnny Gargano, Cole. So, if it was any other match, yes, minus, of course, an Iron Man match, because you still would have not be NXT champion. Just saying. If you notice, when he comes out, there's no Roderick Strong anywhere. It's just Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole. There was a video that popped up from WWE's YouTube channel that after his match, that there was tension looking between the Undisputed Era, and it looked like maybe there was something going on with Roderick Strong not being with them. Maybe he was kicked out of the group. Nothing was said, nothing by Adam Cole or anything. Cole says Johnny Gargano is an idiot and is nothing more than a punk. He is Cole is the unground WWE NXT or the NXT champion. Gargano wonders if Cole is so emotional because his little boy band is having trouble. Gargano reminds Cole he won 2-1 in the match, and that makes him champion. Cole tries to keep talking. Gargano stops and says, if I lost, I wouldn't be out here complaining like a baby. Get it? Gargano offers up another fight with Cole. 3 of the members approach the ring with Roderick Strong attacking from behind. The group holds down Gargano as Cole hits him with a super kick, and the group does a taunt over the falling Gargano. So, to anybody who wanted to see the Undisputed Era come up on the Superstar Shake-Up, Monday Night Raw, or SmackDown Live after Mania, what is wrong with you? These guys are obviously not even close to being done with NXT. Adam Cole will be your NXT champion going into War Games this year. I'm pretty sure NXT TakeOver Toronto, Adam Cole is winning the NXT Championship. I don't think he should get the match at San Jose. That match should be reserved for somebody else. Somebody else not in the Undisputed Era. It could be somebody who just is someone who gets taken down. But I still say Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole for the championship should be waited until NXT TakeOver Toronto 2. It's kind of funny how SummerSlam's going to be in a place that really doesn't, deal with summer, but that's nothing there. It has been confirmed that Kushida will make his NXT in-ring debut in 2 weeks. So, can't wait to see that. I heard there's people lost it when he came out, his music hit and everything. I heard that the crowd was completely going bananas. So I can't wait to see how that goes off on NXT TV. Dominik Dijakovic versus Aaron Fry. One spinning boot to the face, Fry gets pinned, 1, 2, 3, and that was that. Dominik Dijakovic getting the win. I hear his match with Luke Harper, who we will talk about on Saturday, was a well-received match from NXT, from the Access, the Worlds Collide Access that they had WrestleMania weekend. Post-match, Dijakovic wanted the mic. Dijakovic says he's only NXT because his family gave him that opportunity because they came to the United States. That power is coursing through his blood, and now he only sees the North American Championship. So feast your eyes, Velveteen Dream. Looks like we have a new challenger for the Velveteen Dream when Dominik Dijakovic. Backstage, Kathy Kelly speaks with the Undisputed Era. She asks them about the tension within the group that looks to be gone now. Cole says emotion does not dictate how they act around each other. William Regal shows up and says he talked to Gargano, who is more than happy to face the Undisputed Era. And of course, Cole's like, well, when you're going to decide I face Johnny Chump Change again, then that's fine by me. He says, well, it's not going to be you, Cole. It's going to be Roderick Strong because of the blind side, Johnny Gargano wants to take his revenge out on Roderick Strong. So that's going to happen next week. Adam Cole did look a little bothered by the announcement, the fact that he's not getting a shot at him. But it's not for the NXT Championship, of course. It's just going to be a non-title match. Then we see Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne complaining about Candice LeRae getting lucky last week. Aaliyah says LeRae got lucky and she and Bourne were too busy in New York City shopping, sightseeing. Bourne says next week LeRae will find a partner. We'll need to find a partner for a tag team match. So there's on that. Shayna Baszler with Jessamine Duke and Rina Shafir versus Kairi Sane, NXT Women's Championship. If Kairi Sane loses, she will never get another opportunity at the title. Champion is... this match was good. These two always seem to have great chemistry with each other. And this is like the 5th, Mae Young Classic. There was a match on NXT TV back in February of last year that day was 1-1. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, Evolution, War Games, and then of course TakeOver New York. There's 6 matches that these women have been at each other with. Of course, the first 5 was one-on-one matches. Then of course the Fatal 4-Way. So this is their 7th match collectively. And this is going to be their final match until Shayna Baszler eventually makes her way up to the main roster brands. Champion then early ends up on the floor, Sane with a crossbody off the apron, sending Baszler back into the ring. Sane flies off the top rope, connects with the blooded pin, barely a 1 count. Sane gets caught with a flurry of strikes, cover 2. Baszler with a boot to the back, punch to the back, running knee to the face, cover 2. Baszler tries to choke out Sane early, but gets hit with a back elbow. Baszler looks for another running knee. Nobody home. Sane with a spear. Multiple open palm strikes by Sane, which Kairi Sane has some nasty looking open palm strikes, especially the spinning back fist and spinning those things. Definitely not something I would want to take because those things look like they actually hurt. The anchor is locked. She gets the anchor on Baszler, who is able to claw her way to the ropes for the break. Sane heads for the second rope. Insane elbow to the back of Baszler's neck. Sane heads to the top rope to eats a kick. Baszler goes up, looks for a suplex, but her back gives out. Sane knocks Baszler back and hits a double stomp to the champ. Sane tries to fly an elbow to the floor, but misses and goes into the barricade. This is where the match comes to a screeching halt. Referee checks on Baszler as Baszler goes right after the opponent. Sane is tossed into the ring. Baszler works over Sane's arm. Baszler lifts up and dumps Sane to the mat cover. Baszler goes right back to the arm and wrenches back away on it. Sane finally gets on a foot on the bottom rope to break the hold. Sane heads to the floor. Referee checks on her again, decides to call for the doctor. Sane says she's fine. While this is going on, the crowd is actually chanting 1. They're counting up Sane being out. And Shayna Baszler's just eating up. It's like, hey, I should win. I should be winning this match because Kairi Sane's down, injured on the outside, well past the 10 count, so I should be winning by count out. Io Shirai comes down. Baszler just grabs Sane and pulls her back to the ring. Baszler pins Sane's arm down and looks to stomp on it, but Shirai leaps in and just shoves Baszler away for the DQ, and Shayna Baszler wins via DQ. Sane can never challenge for the women's title again. Post-match, Baszler and Sane jawed each other for a moment, but Shafir and Duke yank out Io Shirai, throwing her into the barricade, throwing her into the apron, holding her down, holding her back, making her watch as Kairi Sane is pinned down again, her arm pinned down again, and Shayna Baszler stomps on her arm, leaving her injured as the three four horsewomen leave, and Io Shirai checks on Kairi Sane. The champ's up on the ramp holding the title up as Io Shirai looks devastated and is yelling some stuff in Japanese at Shayna Baszler. So that is that. Definitely a great, fun episode of NXT. Sucks to see Kairi Sane go because I figured like if things would have worked out differently with the women's tag team titles, that pay-per-view, the TakeOver in San Jose would have been the perfect place to have the Boston Hug Connection versus the Sky Pirates for the women's tag team titles. As we know, that's not happening. And Kairi Sane is now on SmackDown Live in a different tag team with Asuka that needs a name, and I don't know what we'd actually call it. Gargano versus Roderick Strong next week, and definitely going to, and the Street Profits versus the War Raiders as well. This is going to be a fun week, a fun time of NXT shows. Man, this is all for your NXT review. It was a fun show. I can't wait to see what happens as we build towards NXT TakeOver San Jose. It looks like we're going to be going Io Shirai and Shayna Baszler's way. They did make a mention that Shayna Baszler has only been pinned by two women in the NXT in WWE, and that would be Kairi Sane and Io Shirai. Maybe that's played up a little bit. They didn't really talk about anything on Bianca Belair, and of course, I'm wondering Candice LeRae, what they're going to do with her after next week, because they did tease on the Go Home show that she is going to take over New York, that she is going to earn her opportunity to get at the NXT Women's Championship. Maybe Shane and Shirai have a match later on down the line. We still have another full month. We have a full month to get through, like 2 months really, but we have a full month and a half to get through before we can even really talk about NXT TakeOver San Jose. We have at least another 2 tapings probably to go. This is a lull period for NXT for the fact that we have so much time between takeovers that it's going to be just go as we can, and we're going to get a lot of great matches. We did get Buddy Murphy versus Velveteen Dream in this show, and of course Kairi Sane's final match against Shayna Baszler. Only can tell what we're going to get going into the summer months, or the spring, the rest of these few months going into TakeOver San Jose. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at TheFrostNerd. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFrost08. I will see you guys Saturday for Unscripted. I'm not going to be covering the Shield's final stand because I honestly really don't care. I'm over the Shield. I'm hoping this is actually legitimately the very last time we see the Shield, and we can move on from there. And we'll be back for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live on Tuesday, and NXT next Wednesday. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good one.